My name is Jeff Bess from Clare, Michigan. I own Devil's Rope Studio. I'm a full-time artist and I do sculptures that I ship all over the country. I work primarily with barbed wire, and every piece that I do has a piece of barbed wire. Matter of fact, the Tree of Life is kind of hidden in there, but there is some barbed wire in that Tree of Life. And years ago, before they called it barbed wire, they called it Devil's Rope. I found that that name was not taken, so I started Devil's Rope Studio, and to represent the fact that I use barbed wire. Devil's Rope Studio kind of came by organically. I just found some wire one day and decided to put together a deer head, and it kind of evolved from there. So probably, you know, if you put a timeline on it or exact date on it, that's been about 10 years ago. Well, it was a special project for me. I mean, I typically do, you know, animals. I'm doing deer and elk and horses, and you know, I even do some human forms, and so this was a little bit different. I think I'd done one other tree in my lifetime. Knowing the foundation and what they do and how they, you know, they provide monies for a lot of different, you know, great operation, different things that they promote. I took that as, okay, if that's the case, then this is the way it needs to be put together. And part of it was I do antlers for wildlife, like elk and deer. And if you know much about, you know, wildlife or elk and deer, their antlers are actually vascular. They're actual blood vessels that are forming. It's in the velvet, and then eventually they calcify and harden. That structure with the blood vessels, and so made the tree the same way, using a 9-gauge wire, layering it one layer at a time. You know, 9-gauge wire is very small, and so just layering that side by side, spot welding things together, and just building it as I went. And then the limbs would have the leaves on it. There's several hundred leaves on it that I cut out of steel, out of 16-gauge steel, kind of showing the fruit of the tree. And then we put a couple birds in there. My thought with the birds were they were the vessels to get those blessings to the people that need it. I just thought that kind of represented the people that are actively going out and working and accomplishing what that foundation wants to accomplish. As an artist, you know, I can sit down and make a piece of art for just, you know, the value of the aesthetic pleasure of looking at it. And then there's the art that really I enjoy doing, is the art that represents something other than what it is. I think the fact that this is setting in front of the Community Foundation, I think that you don't have to think too awful hard to understand the metaphors that are coming out of this that really represents what the Community Foundation is all about, and the people that are behind it. And that's what I was trying to convey. I thank the Community Foundation for giving me the opportunity. They could have picked, you know, one of hundreds of different artists out there. My art is just a small little representation of the vast effort that they put into it. And again, I was honored that I was allowed to be part of that.